Why can't women become priests?
From my reading and my understanding of things, it has nothing to do with the fact that Jesus only chose men.
It's in what we call the discipline in the church. It's the tradition or the custom of the church that men have been the priests, but certainly they have not been the only leaders in the church, and especially our origins in the church. Starting with Jesus, that Jesus deferred to women. Women had an important part in his earlier followers.
But let me put it in a different way, and this is a nerdy sort of way. Women actually are priests. By virtue of baptism, we're all, when we're baptized, we're led into the priesthood of Jesus Christ. The specific way women and all people practice priesthood is different. So the men who receive holy orders have one specific job, but the vast majority of the church are women who teach the faith, who serve, who sing, who compose. It's a different kind of priesthood that doesn't get as much credit.
You can argue back and forth, but I think probably because it's been so long and it's kind of one of those time-honored traditions. But I think essentially it's a discipline, it's something church leaders have chosen to do.
The bottom line is one reason women are not ordained priests is that we have no history of ordaining women to the priesthood. It's kind of a circular answer, I'm afraid.
What makes the Vincentians different from other orders of priesthood?
So each of the religious communities in the church, whether they're Franciscans or Jesuits or Vincentian, all have what we call charisms, different ways of living out the gospel, things that we focus on.
The priests of St. Vincent de Paul, the congregation of the mission, were different because St. Vincent de Paul had a very clear goal in mind when he brought a group of priests together and then brothers. He wanted to serve the poor and teach people to directly serve those who suffer from poverty. And he was smart enough to know in his time some of the most influential people were those who had a pulpit and who could talk about this. Until priests were converted and priests converted other priests to the needs of the poor, until they answered the Vincentian question, what must be done, then a lot of people would go unserved.
Our motto is kind of bringing good news to the poor, and so there's definitely a focus on serving and loving those in poverty, but also really connecting with people on a basic level, on a personal level. That I think one of the gifts that we bring to the church is that sense of walking with people wherever they're at.
I think too, we live a community life. We take simple vows that are a poverty, chastity, obedience, but we take a fourth vow promising that we will always be a part of the congregation of the mission. So we don't become priests to be priests, we become priests to serve in the way Vincent served, and we do that with our priesthood. So our stability is one thing I think that makes us unique.